Welcome to another episode of Shapes and Sizes. Today what we're going to be doing is creating a bed. So I'll go ahead and hop into it. First we're going to select everything and delete everything. And then we're going to go ahead and Shift A, Mesh Cube. And we're going to start with our normal cube. So we're going to make this the size of our bed frame. So what we're going to do is we're actually just going to scale this along the everything except the Z, make it a little larger, and then we're just going to scale it along the Z and thin it out, kind of make it looking like so. You know what? Let's scale this along the X to make it a little thinner. There you go. So this would be our basic bed frame post. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to tab into edit mode. We're going to Control R to add some loop cuts. And we're going to bring them out to the edges here, about there. And again, sideways, just so that we can make our normal posts here. Actually going to grab the bottom ones, the bottom faces, and we're just going to shift click all those bottom faces. We're just going to extrude it down and kind of make it look like a small little table. That's good. So now we can go ahead and add another mattress. So we're just going to shift out, or so we're going to tab out. I'm going to shift A, mesh to a cube. I'm just going to go ahead and scale this up, and then we're going to scale it along the Y to make it about the length, and scale it along the Z to make it a little thinner. Grab it up on the Z to bring it up, and then we're going to tab into edit mode. And then we're just going to Control B to bevel it, and we're just going to bevel the entire thing. Add a couple loop cuts, and just to kind of round out this cube. So now I'm going to scale this along the Z just to make it the size of our mattress, and there you have it. Grab it on the Z, bring it down. Perfect. Well, we'll leave a little bit of space, bring it up just a little bit. And there we have a part of our bed. Perfect. So now let's go ahead and add some blankets to this. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to tab into edit mode here. I'm going to Control R. I'm going to add a loop cut right about here. I'm going to grab this face, Shift D, and then we're just going to grab this along the Z, bring it up a little bit, and we're just going to scale it along the X to bring it out, and scale it a little bit on the Y, maybe even grab it on the Y, bring it over a little bit. Perfect. And then we're just going to add a solidifier modifier. So solidify and solidify. There you go. We're just going to increase the thickness to make it a little bit thicker. And then we're just going to grab those edges. So hit 2. We're going to grab these 3 edges over here. And we're just going to extrude along the Z around so. So I'm going to select this thing here by hovering over it and hitting L. I'm going to hit P, and we're just going to remove it by selection. So now it's its own object. So now if I want to move it or whatever, right, grab Z, you can move it just like so. Move it anywhere you want. And we're just going to leave it like so. We're actually going to tab into edit mode. And we're going to select all of it. And we're going to Control B to bevel it. And we're just going to add a few loop cuts here just to add a little bit more detail to it. It doesn't have to really be on the top part, because what we can do is just kind of add another loop cut here and just kind of make it white like the folded pillow part top. So we're going to go ahead and make some pillows now. Shift A, mesh cube, and we're just going to grab this along the Z, and we're going to actually shrink it down. Actually, we're going to tab into edit mode. We're going to Control B and bevel it out. And we can add as many loop cuts as you want. I'm going to go about there. So now with everything selected, I'm just going to scale it along the X and then rotate along the Z 90 degrees and then rotate it along the X 90 degrees to bring it down. Now let's grab this along the Y and we'll bring it over, bring it down, and we'll have one little pillow there. Perfect. So now we can just scale this along the X to make it a little larger, maybe even a little bit more. And then grab this on the X, move one there, Shift D, and grab along the X, move it along the other side. Now let's go ahead and add some color to this. So I'm going to take this, let's go to materials, we're going to add a new material. And you can make it whatever color you want. I'm going to probably put it around a bluish color. Let's go into our rendered, let's go into our material preview. And I'm just going to darken this a little bit. And I'm going to take these pillows. These pillows are going to have a new material as well. It's going to be white. This down here, you can actually turn the roughness up. And same with the pillows for the mattress here. Usually mattresses are white-ish. So what we're going to do is actually going to create a little bit of a darker white here. Just go down towards maybe right about there, and we're just going to turn up the roughness on that as well. For the bed frame, we're going to go ahead and add a new material to this. So the new material, we're just going to make this about a brown color. You can even go black, but and I'm going to actually change the color of my sheets here. We're going to make it, I guess we can go magenta, and the colors of our pillows. You can change the color of your pillow if you want. Maybe even like a light blue, kind of like so. I'm just going to scale this along the X just to kind of bring it in together. And I'm going to hit P to separate it. I'm going to hit P to separate by selection. And now this one I'm going to grab it in along the X, and this one, and this one I'm going to grab along the X and bring it in nice and snug. I guess you don't need it that big, so scale it along the X and grab it along the X, just kind of move it over and just kind of make it look like two pillows. So we have our mattress, we have our blanket, our two pillows, we have the bed frame. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to actually take all this and we're going to join them all together. So Control J, and this will be our bed. And I'm just going to hide this. Now I'm going to Shift A, Mesh, and we're going to create a cube. We're going to scale this along the Z, shrink it down, then we're going to scale it up by 10 again, bring it down a little bit, and let's create some walls and stuff here. So I'm going to tab into edit mode, I go to Control R to bring in two loop cuts here, and I'm going to grab these faces, 1, 2, 3, extrude up on the Z, and just to kind of create our like little room here. So now I'm going to unhide the bed, and I'm going to take the bed, bring it up on the Z, and I'm just going to rearrange this, probably right about there, Make a little side table. So all you got to do is the same thing, Shift A, Mesh, Plane, and we'll grab this along the Z. And all we're going to do with this is we're just going to tab into edit mode, we're going to extrude it along the Z just a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and add some loop cuts, so Control R, and just bring them over to both sides, like so. And then Control R sideways, and bring it in a little bit more, and over there. Perfect. So now I'm just going to go down and grab the faces. I'm going to hit 3 to grab face. 1, 2, 3, 4. Grab Z, EZ, and I'm just going to bring it down a little bit, just like so. So now we have a basic table here. So this table, let's go ahead and make this one black. So I'm just going to go black, increase the roughness a little bit. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to put this as a 0.6. And now we have a side table for our bed. So let's go ahead and just bring this down over there and grab Shift Z. We're just going to bring it up over here. And it's not really as big as that, so I'm just going to scale it up a bit. Grab Z, and then I'm just going to scale it along the Z just to bring it up. Maybe about as high as the bed. That's really total preference, is up to you. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to import one of my previous files, which I created a lamp. So I'm going to go to File, Append, and we're going to search for the lamp, the collection. So now we have our lamp here. We're just going to go ahead and go over here and delete that. We're going to delete the lights. We're just going to place it over here on our bedside table. So just going to bring it over here. I'm going to scale it down and grab along the Z. Just kind of place it in the center area. We don't need a levitating. So now what we're going to do is just start importing a bunch of things that we've actually already made. So into top view, I'm just going to move this over along the X, then the Y, and go to 3, just going to move it down along the Z. And then you can scale it down, make it scale it larger, whatever you want to do. And there we have our tables and chairs that we created. Again, let's bring in, let's say the robot. So file, append. Now when I have my robot here, it's going to go into top view. I'm actually going to rotate him 180 degrees. I'm going to grab him along the Y and bring him back. Grab him along the Z and bring him, oops. I'm just going to bring him down right about there. We're going to scale him down a little bit, make him a little, like really small. And let's just go ahead and grab him on the Z here. Bring him down. Make it look like he's like sitting on top of this thing or whatever, right? And grab him along the Y. Just bring him back. Right about to there. And then there, he looks like he's sitting there having a fun time. Perfect. So again, we're going to just bring in a bunch of things and just kind of place it all over the place, whatever you've created. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you would like a tutorial on something more realistic, let me know in the comments section. And also, don't forget to subscribe.